So did Kamu share the thought first, or Drew? Like, what happened?
Kamu and Drew both expressed a little bit of mistrust for you, and I'm not gonna hide that.
You want to say anything?
My, how the tables have turned. Now, D is the head of household, and Yash just left wondering if he should have accepted that bribe. But he's decided he's going to lie, cheat, and steal his way through this game. Hey, welcome to my channel where I'm recapping this season of Big Brother. That's right, I'm recapping all season, every episode, all summer long. Today I'm here to recap Big Brother 28, episode 23. Before I do so, if you happen to like my content, hit the like and subscribe buttons and join the conversation in the comments below. Also, make sure you hit the notification bell so that whenever I drop a new video, you'll get an alert from YouTube. Now, let's get into it. So, episode 23 was a 2-hour episode because we got an episode of Unlock first that led into the show, and they were doing like a countdown to the start of the show. So it was Teller, Derek, and Jerry O, and the special guest this week was Danielle Reyes, which was announced on last episode from season 3 and from Reindeer Games. So we start off where they show what happened after Kamu got evicted. We see Yash, he's over it, he's tight, he's mad because, you know, he basically, his head of household just got hijacked by Devins. Latrice is mad that everybody voted to evict Kamu and she's the only one that voted for him, so she feels stupid. Haley is shocked that she's still here, but she's happy. So Devins, he's basking in his glory, like, it worked, I did what I needed to do. He's basking. So now they show us a scene in a bunk bed that we're gonna actually see over again when the episode starts. But you basically see Mallory and Melody, they come into the room. They kind of nervous now because they voted to evict Kamu. And, like, you know, they feel like they're going to get some blowback from Lala and Tella on the other side of the house. Mallory lets Melody know, because Melody, like, we should have at least told them, we didn't tell them, so they're going to feel like we went behind our back. And Mallory lets Melody know that she told Tella when they was passing by each other in the voting, you know that little hole where they go through with the mirror when they pass each other after they evict their vote and the next person is coming in. You saw during the live eviction vote, when Mallory was coming out for voting for Kamu, Tella was coming in because Tella voted right after Mallory. And you saw them stopping and talking, but you couldn't hear what they were saying because Julie's mic was on and you couldn't hear what they were saying. So that's what she told her, that she voted and that they didn't have the votes to keep Kamu. So they let them know last minute. So they kind of worried. Mallory, she feels bad about it. So now Lala, she comes in the room. She's all crying and they're like, sorry, Lala, but he ain't have the votes. They trying to, like, make her feel better and explain themselves to her, saying that Drew and Barrett was going to vote for them. So they knew he didn't have the votes to stay. So now this is when they start the show. They go to the set with Taylor, Derek, and Jerry O'Connell. Danielle Reyes joins them and comes out. They do another missing moment. They do a missing moment where Taylor was warning Lala, because Lala was asking Angela, like, how close is she with D and how much closer she working to her in the game. And Taylor is telling Lala, you can't be asking her that. Like, you asking her all about her game. And she's trying to, like, explain it to Lala. And Lala is like, I'm asking her in front of you so you can hear her. And Lala is just like, girl, So Lala felt like Taylor is doing and saying things that's going to affect her game. And you see at one point Lala and Yash and had a household room is trying to talk to her and tell her, like, you know, watch what she's saying. And she feel like she's offended by it. Like, she feels, you know, defensive. And Taylor says she feels bad because she's asking her to not be herself. And that's not fair or whatever. So they show another missing moment where Lala apologizes to Haley. Latrice apologizes for that confrontation they had when she asked Haley if she was going to apologize to Angela after the blow up they had. So Haley said, you know, to be honest, hey, Latrice, you was being a bully to me all week. And Lala was like, no, I wasn't. How was I being a bully to you? And Haley was like, you say stuff under your breath. You was doing this, ignoring me. And Lala was like, that's not being a bully. I'm not a bully. So they going back and forth. And it's starting to get a little, pretentious. And they was like respectfully. They kept saying respectfully, respectfully, and I think it was Devins was like respectfully. I'm trying to have my coffee. So yes, I didn't see. They didn't show that moment on the episode, but Haley did call her a bully. Then Kamal stops by to talk with the host of the panel. They talk with him. They do a section called the rant room where they show the guests just ranting. They were ranting about the bathroom and how dirty the bathroom is. They did a section called the BB Badass and the BB Dumbass, where Devins was this week's BB Badass and Yash was voted BB Dumbass. And then we got to see the actual construction and everything it takes to put together the OTEV veto challenge. I think it took like 3 or 4 days to put together. And I found out that they actually do the veto challenges on Saturdays. So I was like, interesting, okay? That's why we be knowing before the episode, so yeah. So now it's time to get to the episode, okay? Also, we got to meet Dee's family. They had another segment called Creators Corner where creators online do things about the show. So now we start the show off with that same bunk bedroom scene with Mallory and Melody coming in and Lala coming in crying. They show that over for some reason. Then we see Yash. He's in the confessional. He's mad in the diary room. He's basically saying he don't trust Drew. He's calling Drew a snake, saying he a fanboy. He's so busy following Daddy Devins around. He's really upset. He's mad. So now he's talking to Melody and Mallory, Eminem, and he's telling them that not to trust Drew. Then he lets them know that Kamu told him that Drew and him had made a final 2 earlier in the game called The Handyman, which they did. So Melody is listening to this like, I'm starting to look at Drew sideways. Like, I don't know if I could trust Drew now. So in the kitchen, Yash confronts Drew and Barrett, and they confess, yeah, we voted to evict, Kamu. He didn't have the votes. And he's like, a heads up would have been nice. So he feels the way about it, and they feel kind of like it's awkward. In the workout room, Tella tells Lala that, because she come in and Lala's still emotional, so she comes in try to console her. And she's letting Lala know that right before the competition, right before the eviction ceremony, when she was hugging Melody or Mallory, they told her, oh, Kamu doesn't have the votes to stay. And Lala like, how they knew he didn't have the votes to stay? And she's like, because Barrett and Drew told them they was voting to evict Kamu. So Lala feels like she's definitely hurt. She's over it. She was left out of it. But they did tell her last minute. And they was saying earlier in the bunk bedroom to Lala they sorry they couldn't get to her before the competition. So now it's time for the head of household competition. And we found out on Unlock also Paul, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, Abrahamian, whatever. He's from seasons 18 and 19. He was the runner-up for both of those seasons. So he came on to the Unlock because he's going to be the host for the HOH competition. So he rings the bell and he comes in and they go to August 23rd, 8:51, the 800s for the veto challenge, had a household competition, and it's going to be in Scandinavia at 8:51. The name of the competition is called North by Northwest. And they have to run across like a track, I guess. It's like a course they got to take and run across. They're like running across beams, and it's different pathways, and then they have some, what do you call those things? Little, like, step things you can step on to get to the things, but they have to go on the path. You can take whatever path you want, but try to figure, the goal is to find the quickest, easiest path to get. You have to ring each bell as you going by, and after you ring each bell, you come back and brush your buzzer to stop your time. So they go, the first person to go is Haley. Her time is 1 minute, and then after her, Angela goes. Angela is unable to beat Haley's time, so then we go to Drew. Drew ends up beating Haley's time. He got 59 seconds. After Drew Latrice goes, she's unable to beat Drew's time, as well as Teller, who goes after Latrice. Then D goes, and D actually beats Drew time, and she gets 50 seconds. And everyone after D failed. Mallory, Devins, Barrett. Barrett actually threw it. Mallory couldn't beat D's time. Devins couldn't beat her time. Barrett, he actually took his time and he threw it because he didn't want to be head of household. And Melody, she couldn't beat D's time. So D wins head of household. She's excited. They go back to the house. Yash is worried. Paul leaves. He tells them bye. He says his goodbyes and leaves. So now in the bathroom, D is telling Devins how she wants to put up Lala, Teller, and Yash because she don't want to put up Haley. She said she want to backdoor Yash, but the only other option to put up would be Haley, and she's trying to build trust with Haley because Haley doesn't have a home, and they think they could work with her going further, and more in the game. And Devins think that's a good idea. So in the bunk bedroom, Teller is consoling Lala because she's crying, emotional, breaking down once again. And Teller is telling her, listen, they're going to come for us, it is what it is. So Teller says she's ready to get nasty. She's ready to get gutter. She don't give a fuck right now. She's ready to just be like, what up? So now in the HOH room, Lala comes to visit D. And she asks D where I had at, and D tell her, yeah, I'm considering putting you up. Y'all had this meeting, and I heard y'all was talking about targeting, the icons, namely me. And Lala is like, no, I didn't. So Lala is trying to blame it on everybody else that was in the room. When it was her that brought the whole subject up, she called the whole meeting for that discussion. So she's trying to throw everybody else under the bus. She's trying to say it was Drew. She's like, Barrett was in the room, Melody, Mallory. She's saying it was everybody else except for her, okay? So Z thinks Drew may have been in on the plan. She feel like he may have agreed to it and said something. He did say Devins was the biggest threat in the house, though. So later on, D, she tells the other icons that she wants to, bribe Yash again. She want to use her bribe to bribe him again so that if he wins to the household, he won't target either of them. And they like, that's genius. So they call him in the room. So she asking him who said her name when they had that meeting in the room talking about targeting the icons. And he tells her it was Barrett and Drew. Mind you, in his confessional, he said, I know I'm lying, but at this point, there's some snakes. They're not men. I don't care. I want them out. I'm a lie. And he just was going off saying with Malcolm X, Abraham Lincoln. I was just like, calm down, sweetie. It's just a game. You're taking it a little too personally, okay? So she tells her that Drew and said that he definitely expressed mistrust with her. So she offers him the bribe again, and she's letting him know, like, if you win, you can't come for us, and I won't put you on the block. You're safe. And then she lets him know that if he accepts it, it's binding. He has to do it. Like, he can't renege on it. So he does accept it. He accepts it unwillingly, reluctantly. He accepts it. And basically, when he leaves out the room, she's contemplating now who she gonna put up from the mosh pit because she don't want to put him up now that they just made this deal. You made the deal with him. She didn't specifically say, I'm not gonna put you up. She made the deal for him not to put her up. She didn't say, I won't put you up. So later on, the mosh pit meets up in the head of household room, and that's when Drew approaches D approaches Drew, like, what was said in that room because, I'm hearing otherwise. So then that's when they go grab Yash and bring Yash in the room. So she asks Yash, like, what happened? Like, who said what? So then that's when Yash is telling her, now he's saying Kamu and Drew came to the room, but it was definitely Kamu leading the charge, doing most of the talking. But he said Drew did express mistrust in you. So she's looking at Drew like, you have anything to say? And he's looking dumbfounded like, humana. I'm like, Drew, defend yourself. Why you letting him sit here lying on you and you're not defending yourself? So he's sitting there like, I don't know. In his confessional, he like, I don't know what to say. She want me to put the leftovers on blast, the crossovers on blast right now? I'm not going to. So he's not defending himself properly. He's like, so she's like, would you been okay with me going home? And he was like, no, definitely not. So she's like, And then she asked him something else. And that's when Yash was like, Yash was basically saying he was lying. And Drew, I just felt like he didn't defend himself properly in that moment. And yeah, I just felt like this might cost him because D doesn't trust him. So now it's time for the BB time capsule. And Drew ends up winning the time capsule. I didn't vote for him. I voted for Barrett. But Drew won it, and I wasn't mad at that. I was happy. He needs it right now. He needs the power, okay? So this was the last time to vote. So Drew wins it, and he ends up getting a power, and his power is the never not pass. So he does never has to be a have not for the rest of the time in this house, okay? So he ends up going to the head of household room to tell D about his power. He's still trying to gain trust for her, even though it's not much he can do with it. So he's telling her the fact that America chose me, that means like America, he's telling her, if you notice, everyone they chose is somebody who's working with us. So the fact that they chose me shows you that I'm working with you. And here goes D like, I don't care about America. I'm like, ooh. Girl, you sure about that? You don't care about America. I'm sure she ain't mean it in that way, but it definitely came off. Ooh, I was like, oh. But she was like, I'm worried about what's going on. And she basically let him know, like, I don't trust you. And he felt like no matter what he say to her, she not going to trust him. And she's like, I'm trying, but I don't know. I still got my reservations because of that meeting. I don't know what was said. So later on, she ends up telling Barrett that she don't trust Drew, and she's thinking about putting him up as a pawn. And Barrett is looking like, say what now? Like, huh? Yeah, Barrett is like, oh my gosh, that's not going to be a good look. So Barrett is kind of worried about that. So now it's time for the nomination ceremony. And she ends up nominating Latrice, Drew, and Teller. She let them know the reason why is because she still don't know what was said in that room. She said if anybody want to come meet up and talk to me one-on-one, I'm open to that. Or if you want to talk like right here in a group setting, I'm open to that too. So before she can end the meeting, Teller is like, I want to know who told you I wanted to vote you out. And then she's like, was it you, Drew? And he like, no, Lala like, you a liar. And basically the episode ended where it looked like Teller and Lala was about to raise all hell. It looked like it was about to go down. And she jumped up. She was like, when did I say that? He said, when you was coming out the shower. So she jumped up, was like, how? When I was in the shower. And it looked like...
I would love to know who said to put D up, because I never said put D up, ever.
Nor did I.
Was it you, Drew?
No, it was not. Liar.
Did I say that?
You're a
or did
liar.
Lala say that?
You're a whole
Did
liar.
I say that, Drew? Stop! Did I say that, Drew?
Yes.
Tell me when.
Upstairs when it was...
Tell me when. Tell me how.
Dude, you were coming out of the shower.
Look like the beginning of next episode. I'm sure everyone already saw it on a live feed already, but I didn't see it yet. So I'm going to have to wait until the new episode. I'm sure if I could go online and find it. But for the next episode, they're going to show how everything went down at the end of the nomination ceremony. For those of you who don't watch the live feeds. Anyway, that was the end of episode 23, guys. It was okay. It was an okay episode. Let me know, guys. Let me know what you guys thought of the episode. Join the conversation down in the comments below. If you appreciate this content, hit the like and subscribe buttons. And also, make sure that you hit the notification bell so when I drop any content, you'll get an alert from YouTube. Also, if you're into the Real Housewives, I do recaps of all of those as well. All right? Today is Monday, August 24th, and I hope you all have a good day. If you're into Housewives... If you're into Housewives, I will see you guys tomorrow when I upload my recaps of Real Housewives of Atlanta, the final part of the reunion, and also Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip. If not, I'll see you on Friday when I upload my recap for Wednesday and Thursday's episodes of Big Brother. In the meantime, guys, today is Monday, August 24th, and I hope you guys all enjoy your week. Bye now.